International pressure is growing on Syria following allegations of chemical weapons, and Syria's foreign minister says the country will defend itself using, quote, all means available, end quote. It's Tuesday, August 27th. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Simon Constable in for Wendy. And joining us now with more on the Syria story from Abu Dhabi is Wall Street Journal Mideast reporter Meg Coker. Meg, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about the geopolitics that's going on here. The latest news is, of course, that Syria is saying they will use all means available to defend themselves against attack. That is quite considerable, isn't it? They have some very special equipment.
That's right. Syria has some very, very sophisticated air defense equipment that they have bought from Russia, which has been a very long time and very strong ally of the Syrian regime. Those air defenses are really top of the line, and U.S. aircraft haven't had a whole lot of one-on-one contact with them before. That's part of the reason why we see discussions in Washington and Paris and London talking about some sort of limited strike, and we're being told that it's probably going to be some sort of cruise missile strike instead of any manned aircraft going into Syrian airspace, should there be a military response this week.
To put this into context, the air defenses in Libya, if we remember back that far, were nowhere near as good as these air defenses that the Syrians have. Now, I understand that Turkey is also standing by, ready, on watch for an attack if and when that comes.
Yes, look, Syria's neighbors have all been quite frightened over the last 2 years as this conflict spins out of control. And now there's more than 1 million Syrian refugees who have crossed the borders into places like Turkey and Jordan and Iraq, and they're afraid of more spillover as well. From the Turkish side, of course, there's a very strong military, and it's a member of NATO, and so there's the Turkish leaders there have been quite strong in their condemnation of last week's attack, and they'll probably be a part of the force of the willing should there be a military strike this week.
And obviously we know that the British have moved into Cyprus, at least some military assets into Cyprus, which is down the eastern end of the Mediterranean, along with 4 U.S. warships as part of the Mediterranean fleet there. Now, we've also got a lot of major governments around the world weighing in on different sides with the conflict, right? We've got the Russians saying, no, don't intervene, the U.S., please, with or without any help.
That's right. I mean, the entire Syrian conflict can be broken down into 2 sides. Syria has always had Russia and Iran behind it, standing firm behind Bashar al-Assad, the president, and the rest of the region, the Sunni Arab states, have been calling for the downfall of Assad because of all the civilian deaths. So you have Western allies of the United States, plus most of the Arab states, all looking for a way to end this conflict, and chemical weapons has been the red line that most of these same allies say is beyond the pale, and that's why people are gearing up for some sort of military response.
We also understand that in Israel, some folks are going out and getting gas masks in case the war spills over. Of course, Israel neighbors Syria. It also neighbors Egypt, which is having its own problems there. It's looking more and more like a patchwork quilt of conflict over the Middle East.
Right. I mean, throughout the middle part of the 20th century, we've seen multiple wars in the Middle East, and Syria has been in the middle of most, if not all of those. So it is at the heart of most of the geopolitical tension that has been in the Middle East for the last 30, 40 years. And again, you're seeing the same lines being drawn. The Israelis have fought and pretty much won against Syria through past wars. They have very good civil defense preparations, and they also have their own, quite strong armed forces as well. So in case there is Syrian retaliation, of course, the neighbors are going to start putting their heads together to protect their own borders. That includes Israel and Jordan and Turkey, of course.
Okay, interesting situation there. Thank you very much, Meg Coker with the Wall Street Journal.